Hi everyone, in this video I am going to discuss about oxidation number. And in the previous video I have discussed about the redox reaction, and this video is just on continuation of it. If you didn't watch the previous video, the link is given in the description, you can watch it. Now let's go into the topic. First let us learn what is oxidation number. So it is a number assigned to an element in its compound that represents how many electrons it is lost or gained during the formation of the particular compound. And oxidation number can be either positive or negative or even sometimes zero. For instance, if you take an example, that is if you consider potassium bromide, that is KBr, the oxidation number of potassium is +1 and bromine is -1. So it can be either positive or negative. If you look at the sodium chloride, this is also same. Again it is going to be same, that is sodium is +1 and it is chlorine is -1, that is the oxidation number of chlorine is -1. So it can be either positive or negative. Oxidation number of an element is not constant and it varies from compound to compound for one particular element. So for instance, if you take the methane, the oxidation number of carbon in methane is -4. On the other hand, if you consider the oxidation number of carbon in carbon dioxide, it is +4. And we will discuss how this oxidation number is calculated in the later part of the video. And oxidation number may be a whole number or sometimes it may be fractional also. So for instance, if you consider the compound CO3O4, the oxidation number of cobalt in this particular compound is +8/3, that is it is a fractional value. In fact, it is not fractional, it contains two cobalt ion with +3 oxidation state and one with +2 oxidation state, and the average oxidation number will be 8/3 for cobalt. So the oxidation number of an element in the uncombined state, that is the individual state, is taken as 0. So for instance, if you take the oxidation number of oxygen molecule or oxygen atom, it is taken as 0. So let us consider this equation, that is hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. So here the oxidation number of hydrogen is 0, as well as the oxidation number of oxygen is also 0, because it is the individual atom in the non-combined state. But on the other hand, if you calculate the oxidation number of hydrogen and oxygen in water, it is not equal to 0 because it is in the compound. And in the case of ions, the oxidation number of the particular element will be taken as the charge of the ion. So for instance, if you take the calcium ion, the oxidation number of calcium will be equal to +2, that is the charge of its ion. So for instance, if you take aluminium 3+ ion, the oxidation number of aluminium will be equal to +3, that is its charge. And the oxidation number of hydrogen is always +1, but in certain cases it is -1, that is in metal hydrides. Particularly in metal hydrides, the oxidation number of hydrogen is -1, or in general it is +1. So for example, the oxidation number of hydrogen in water, which is not a metal hydride, so it is +1. On the other hand, sodium is a metal. When the hydrogen combines with a metal, its oxidation number will be -1, because sodium will have the oxidation number of +1 and hydrogen, and that is the hydrogen in sodium hydride will be having the oxidation number of -1. So in general, the oxidation number of hydrogen is +1. Only in metal hydrides it is -1. And on the other hand, if you take the oxidation number of oxygen is mostly -2 in its compound, but in peroxides it is -1. And there are certain cases we can discuss about the superoxides also. We will discuss it in the later part of the video. So in general, the oxidation number of oxygen is -2, particularly in peroxide it is -1. For example, the oxidation number of oxygen in water is -2, On the other hand, in hydrogen peroxide it is -1. And the oxidation number of alkali metals is always +1 in its compound, and on the other hand the alkaline earth metal will have the oxidation number of +2 always. And the reason behind this is its electronic configuration. And if you see an example for an alkali metals, let's take sodium, and its electronic configuration is 2,8,1. And since it is having only one valence electron, that could be lost during the formation of sodium compounds. So removing one more electron from the stable inert gas configuration is practically impossible, and hence the oxidation number of alkali metals is usually +1. And if you look at the electronic configuration of alkaline earth metals, it is having the 2 valence shell electrons. See that, for instance, we have taken the magnesium, so it is having the electronic configuration of 2,8,2. During the formation of magnesium compound, it will lose 2 electrons and attain the stable electronic configuration. So removing the third electron is not possible, and hence the oxidation number of alkali earth metal is always +2 and alkali metal is always +1. If you move on to the halogen family, the oxidation number of halogens are generally -1, and particularly for fluorine it is always -1. And if you see the other halogens like chlorine, bromine and iodine, its general oxidation state is -1, but it also exhibit other oxidation numbers also when it combines with most electronegative atoms. See that if it combines with the other electronegative atoms, it differs from -1. So let us take the simple example. See that in sodium chloride, it is the oxidation number of chlorine is -1, which is the common oxidation state of halogens. But if you look at the oxyacids of halogen, so here it is +1. That differs because it is combined with the electronegative atoms. In the meantime, we can also think of the interhalogens. See, for instance, the BRF3, which is an interhalogen, and fluorine, the most electronegative atom, is always carrying the oxidation number of -1. Since there are 3 fluorines, it will contribute 3 into -1, that is equal to -3, and hence the oxidation number of bromine must be +3. So in interhalogens as well as in oxyacids, the oxidation number of chlorine, bromine, iodine will differ from -1. Now let us discuss how the oxidation number of an element is calculated in a compound. And if the compound is neutral compound, the sum of oxidation numbers of various elements in the compound is equal to 0. If you take an example, that is water. So water is having 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom, and the summation of oxidation number of 2 hydrogen plus 1 oxygen will be equal to 0 because water is a neutral compound. So you could see that 2 into oxidation number of hydrogen plus oxidation number of oxygen will be equal to 0. Suppose if you take a compound with 3 elements, for instance KMnO4, so here the oxidation number of potassium plus oxidation number of manganese plus 4 into oxidation number of oxygen will be equal to 0 because KMnO4 is a neutral compound. So summation of all the elements in a compound for a neutral compound will be equal to 0. Suppose if it is a ion, something like MnO4 minus ion. So here also the rule is same, but only the summation of the oxidation number of individual elements will be equal to the charge of the ion. So you could see the sulfate ion. In the sulfate ion, see the oxidation number of sulfur plus 4 into oxidation number of oxygen will be equal to the charge of the ion. That is, the sulfate, the charge of the ion is -2, and hence the summation will be equal to summation of oxidation number will be equal to charge of the ion. So far we have learned the various rules for calculating the oxidation number, and now let us do some practice problem in calculating the oxidation number. So here it is given to calculate the oxidation number of carbon in carbon dioxide, and we know that the summation of oxidation number of individual elements in this particular carbon dioxide will be equal to 0, because carbon dioxide is a neutral compound. That means, so oxidation number of carbon plus 2 into oxidation number of oxygen will be equal to 0. And we don't know this factor, because that's what we need to calculate, the oxidation number of carbon. Let us take it as X, and we know that generally the oxidation number of oxygen will be -2. So 2 into -2, which is equal to 0. And if you work out, so x minus 4 equal to 0 and x is equal to +4. So the oxidation number of carbon in carbon dioxide is +4. Now let us calculate the oxidation number of manganese in KMnO4. See, potassium, we know that it is a alkali metal. Its oxidation number is always +1. So oxidation number of potassium plus, let us take the oxidation number of manganese as X, and we know that there are 4 oxygens, and the oxidation number of oxygen is always, that is in most of the cases it is -2, which is equal to, since the KMnO4 is neutral, it is equal to 0. So if you work out, that is X minus 7, which is equal to 0. So the oxidation number of manganese is +7 in KMnO4. So calculate the oxidation number of sulfur in H2SO4. So we have to do the similar way, that is the hydrogen, it is always, it is mostly +1, only in metal hydride it is -1. So here the oxidation number of hydrogen should be taken as +1. Since there are 2 hydrogens, so 2 into +1, and let us take the oxidation number of sulfur as X plus 4 into -2, which is equal to 0. So if you solve this, so +2 plus X minus 8 equal to 0, so which is equal to X minus 6 equal to 0, and X equal to +6. So the oxidation number of sulfur in H2SO4 is +6. And now let us calculate for chromium in K2CrO4. And as we discussed earlier, since this is an alkali element, it is having the oxidation number of +1. So since there are 2 potassium, so 2 into +1 plus, and let us take the oxidation number of chromium as X, and since there are 4 oxygen, which is equal to 4 into -2, which is equal to 0. So +2 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0, and if you solve this, this also will come as +6. So the oxidation number of chromium in K2CrO4 is +6. Now let us calculate the oxidation number of chromium in a ion. See that here it is not a neutral compound, it is an ion, and there are 2 chromium atoms, so we have to take 2X. So X is the oxidation number of chromium. Since there are 2 chromium, we have to take it as 2 into X plus 7 into -2, which is equal to, it's not 0 here, it is -2, because the summation of oxidation number of elements will be equal to the charge of the polyatomic ion. So here the charge of the polyatomic ion is -2, so the summation will be equal to the -2. So if you solve this, so 2x minus 14 equal to -2, and 2x equal to +12, and x equal to +12 by 6, which is equal to, by 2, which is equal to +6. Now let us discuss about the oxidation number of cobalt in CO3O4, that is cobalt 3 oxide. So here since there are 3 cobalt atoms, we have to take it as 3X plus 4 into minus 2, which is equal to 0 because the compound is neutral. So 3x minus 8 equal to 0. So 3x equal to plus 8 and x is equal to plus 8 by 3. So here the oxidation number comes as fractional, but it is not fractional because CO3O4 will have there are two CO3 plus ions and one CO2 plus ion and 4 oxygen atoms. So the average oxidation number of cobalt in CO3O4 is plus 8 by 3. So calculate the oxidation number of oxygen in H2O2. And we know that in peroxide the oxidation number of oxygen is minus 1. Let us just prove it. So there are 2 hydrogens, so 2 into plus 1, and let us take the oxidation number of oxygen as X, which is equal to 0 because H2O2 is a neutral compound, and if you solve for X you will absolutely get it as minus 1. So X is minus 1, so it is a peroxide. Suppose in case if we take this compound BaO2, and if someone asks you to calculate the oxidation number of barium, so what we will do immediately, we will go for the calculation X plus 2 into minus 2 equal to 0, and we will put it as X equal to plus 4 immediately, and we think our results are our answer is correct, but this is wrong because barium is an alkaline earth metal. It is having the oxidation number of plus 2. Please recall that the alkaline earth metals will have the oxidation number as plus 2 always. It will never change. So since if it is plus 2 and this oxidation number must be minus 1 so that the charges will match, that means, so if you calculate the oxidation number, so barium is plus 2 into the oxidation number of oxygen, which is equal to 0. So again if you solve for X, it is equal to minus 1. So this compound is again it is going to be a peroxide. So if you take a common example, for instance, if you take this compound Na2O, if you calculate the oxidation number, it is minus 2. So it is a oxide. So this compound is a oxide. For instance, if you take this compound NaO, here the oxidation number of oxygen is minus 1 and hence it is a peroxide. And this compound is also reported, that is NaO2. So here if you calculate the oxidation number, it will come as minus 1 by 2. So this compound is known as your superoxide. So we need to carefully analyze whether it is a oxide, whether it is a peroxide or superoxide using the very simple oxidation number calculations. So far we have discussed about the calculation of oxidation number, and in the next video we will be discussing about the definition of oxidation and reduction in terms of oxidation number and its application in calculating the equivalent weight, and also the using the oxidation number how to balance a redox reaction as well as the disproportionation reaction. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any doubts or queries, please post it in the comment section or reach me through the email. Thank you so much.